All right guys, a couple of quick tips for your pivot turns and wheelie practice. First thing that really helped me out was not trying to do too much at once. Don't try to get the front end up, hit the balance point, start the pivot, do a 360 and drop it all in one go. You're not going to get it. Take it step by step. Here's what helped me the most. First, just sit on the bike, sit straight. Don't try to pull it into a turn right away. Just focus on little wheelies. That's really the first step. Focus on those little wheelies. Focus on controlling them, using the clutch to get them up. Not as much throttle, more clutch. And then focus on stopping them with the rear brake. That's really what helped me the most. Your weight transfer also is something that you can simplify a little bit. For me anyway, it was never super easy to modulate the brake and the throttle at the same time. I always felt like I could do it better just with all 4 fingers on the grip. You can set your suspension and get the weight transfer with the rear brake only. So no finger on the brake. You can just bring it right up like that. One of the ways Graham Jarvis teaches you how to do it is use the rear brake in addition to the front brake, but you can do it rear brake only if that helps you. What I found is this helps you also make sure that you're covering the rear brake, so when that front end does come up, you can stop it with the rear brake. So I found that to be really helpful. So let's just start small. Start with just a little bit of constant throttle. Bring the R's up just a little bit. Watch, I'm barely touching the throttle at all. And now watch my hand when I bring it up. I'm mostly using the clutch. Okay, that's all I'm doing. And when it gets up to a certain point, a little pressure on the rear brake brings it right back down. So that's all we're going to be practicing is little wheelies. Like this, little wheelies. Okay. Okay, barely any throttle. Really, I'm just using the clutch. And I'm stopping it with the rear brake. That's what I want you to focus on first, is just those little wheelies. Work on that clutch control. You're not jumping the clutch, but you are dropping the clutch pretty quickly. It's a sort of a controlled drop. Any faster and you're just going to spin the rear tire. You can practice on pavement, but I'd recommend some sort of dirt surface. Pavement is going to mask any issues in your technique. So do it on grass, just note that you're going to chew it up a little bit. Even if you've got your technique pretty well down, you're going to chew up your lawn a little bit. So hopefully you don't mind. Like I said, practice those small wheelies first. You don't need to be yanking the bike over trying to get it to pivot. You're not there yet. You need to get the front end up, get to that balance point consistently, and stop it with the rear brake. Get it to the point where you can control those wheelies, then worry about the pivot. Pivot comes next. This was something that took me a little bit to figure out, because I kept trying to like yank the bike over, which meant I wasn't like sitting on the bike, which meant I wasn't getting my weight on that rear wheel. So sit more centered on the bike, get your weight over the rear tire, and then do the weight transfer, and then bring it up, and learn to control it with that rear brake. That's going to help you. Once you get to the point where you can get it up to the balance point, you can control it with the rear brake, you can prevent it from stalling with the clutch, then the bike will just naturally start to turn to the left because that's where your left leg is. It's on the left side of the bike. So that's going to come pretty naturally once you start to get the bike up fully to the balance point. It wants to kind of come to the left. And all I'm doing is a little bit of a little bit of throttle, and I'm modulating with the clutch. Just give it enough throttle so it doesn't stall. And really, I'm modulating it with the clutch. That's the key. So that's it for the tips for today. Really, the main tip is start small. Focus on your wheelies. Focus on your weight transfer, using the front or rear brake, whichever one is more comfortable for you. Either one works. Use that weight transfer to drive the back tire to the ground. That's going to give you your traction. Work on the timing of your throttle and clutch to get that front tire up, but start small. Don't worry about doing the pivot yet. Just start small, get it up, make sure you're covering the rear brakes. You can stop those wheelies. It's going to save you a ton of money on rear fenders if you learn that first. Then once you get it up, then you can start doing your pivots. Hope this helps.